So is it appropriate to say I've got wood? So welcome back for another round of Minecraft Modded. You might already notice that I have some fish in my custom pond that I made last episode. And what I did was I went and bought some buckets of cod from my fisherman in the trade village nearby, and I had wandering trader come that had buckets of tropical fish. I bought that. I also put in a bunch of kelp, which I already had, and the trader did have some sea pickles, as well as I had some already that I had collected. I placed them down. Not really a nice glow from them like it should have. It has more glow when I hold them, but it still is looking nice. It has fish that are permanently in there until I kill them. I've also been able to get all the trees to grow large. And what I did was a couple of them grew naturally large, and I was just harvesting the others. Finally, I looked to save some time and found that if you place like a glass block right about there, it will force them to grow tall. Now, sometimes it still made them kind of stumpy with no branches, but for the most part, I was able to get them to grow taller. I still went in and polished them up. Some of them grew like one little branch. That was it. Like this one grew only a little bit. And so I added more. You see, I've got almost a completely enclosed canopy. Not entirely all the way across, but good enough. And I have just nice lanterns. Some of them were so high in the branches, I had to actually extend them down a bit so they would cover enough light level at ground level. But yeah, it looks good, and I can go and take that one out. So we got a nice look going there, and that is great for the cosmetics, but I don't have a tree farm for trees that are just meant to be harvested and not necessarily look good. So I've already started, and what this is a mirror of the circle of the pond. It's the exact same dimensions, the exact same distance and alignment to that. So if I was looking at this top to bottom, it would be identical mirror between these two sides from the walkway there, and same distance on each from the wall as well. So what I've done is I've added an interior circle, and my goal is to actually turn this into a stairwell, kind of walking up the middle, and then outer ring being where we have trees. So I'm not going to actually have anything planted here. I'm instead going to have it where I walk up to a starter level. We have some trees, go up to a second level, have some more of the small trees, and then a third level at the top where I'm going to put the extra big, 4 square wide spruce and jungle trees. And I think that's going to give me plenty of storage room for trees, a lot of farming capabilities, and it gives a nice extra little tower in the middle of the 2 watchtowers. It's going to have a nice look to it. And this is where it's going to be confusing. How am I going to get this to work? Oh, okay. This is going to be the problem, is figuring out how to get this to line up the way I want, because I do want to have like at least 2 blocks like that. I may have to just do it where instead of doing, oh yeah, we're going across, la la la, like that, it's going to have to be, I have a little gap there just to get the curve to work right. But yeah, go up like this. Yeah, that works. That's fine. I'll figure out some way to keep from falling off later. I'm not even sure how tall I really want this to go. I'm up a decent height, and one thing I have to remember is once this is all done and I place the super tall trees on the very top level, they're going to grow really tall. So it's not like I need to worry about having a certain height level for it to work. I mean, that looks pretty decent right there. I'm just going to have it continue the spiral up the whole way around. And what that will do is I can basically just say, like, all right, right here. This is where I put like a walk off to the next level, and then it just continues up in the next level there. So that could be level 1, level 2. That looks like it should be tall enough, which there's the problem. That's not an even height. So it's going to have to be this one or this one, which, I mean, I could do like this here and have it where this walks out like that, and then that continues up, so it kind of lines up actually more like the other level, and that way I have a spot for that. And oh, there's a problem. I want, if I'm going to do this, I need probably solid full-size blocks, not half slabs. Otherwise, it's going to be a little kooky looking when I have all these half slabs and a couple of dirt blocks that are hanging down, you know? So this reason I mapped out the entire circle below here, instead of just doing like the edge blocks and marking them for dimensions, is I can just easily go around like this and see like, hey, I'm standing right above that one, so I know I need to place a block there. And it's just making it easy for me to track how to build the same circle the next level up. And I'll do the same thing with the next level. I'll just look down and see these blocks on the outer edge and build it up as well. And then I can just fill in the interior. Makes it a little bit easier, just having that visual confirmation instead of having to do a look at like a circle generator every time I need to do another level to it. And there we have it. Nice outer ring with a walkway across, and so I know about this. And this is going to be the easy part. Is just go and build, you know, in around this. As I get further out, I just be like, oh yeah, let's just tidy this up. And that way it just fills in everything the same level of blocks. Not worry so much about the little half slabs there. I can work around that. But yeah, this will give me a nice little fill in all the way around. And we have, you know, just, I'll do something here as far as like, okay, let's see, I'll come up here. I'll just have to have a, like a cutout part. And of course, tidy up a little bit underneath as well, so it doesn't have weird staggered gaps in there. And here we are, start of a new day, and I have the top level outlined, not built, but you see just how tall I've gotten, almost up to the same height as that. I had originally thought about building it up somewhere around there. And we got a lost trader over there again. But yeah, if I built it up there, it would end up being taller than those two towers, probably about the max height of that. And it's just been extra work to go up top. With this, it's right here in the main area, and it just is going to give a nice little extra look to everything by having something else filling this in instead of a big open space or just a lot of decorative trees. This actually makes it easier to get to, and I actually don't need that anymore now that I have finished all my half slabbing. We can take all this out too. And finally, there we go. Full setup. I've already had spawn, like evil mob spawns happen. We got a nice view. Nice little look out from up here. There's the trader guy, still kind of lost. Come down, walk. It's dark. I hear that spider. Basically, no. And now I got creepers too. So here it is, the topmost level, pretty much done. I basically just mapped out the entire thing in Photoshop by zooming in to see the individual pixels so I could draw the whole circle out. I mapped the entire middle column out as well as the width around it for the pathway, the walking stairs. And so I just kind of counted out what seemed to be the most effective. So I should be pretty good right here. The only spots is going to be questionable is around the stairs, and on the outermost edge is a little bit too dark. But this way I'm not spending just a huge amount of glowstone on this. And that's not even trying to do any dirt placement yet on this. I don't know how I want to do the dirt yet. And now I've got the dirt placed, and honestly, it's helpful that I mapped it out with the glowstone first, but I'm kind of thinking I actually want to base the glowstone on each level maybe around how I'm doing the dirt blocks. So instead of doing it like that, I do it like, oh, but let me get this right. 1, 2, like that. 1, 2, like that. 1, 2, like that. So I'd have 4 around this, and that should absolutely, most definitely cover everything in terms of lighting needs. And of course, after I said that and placed all of those, I didn't take into account this. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and fix this one so that it's done the same as the other. I don't think that, yeah, that should not cross anywhere that the stairs are done. And we'll see if I can make this work. That's one of the things of like the circles is trying to plan how you want everything to look in the end. So if I take that out, take that out. Okay, so that's not quite the same way, like 1, 2, like that. But it is like 1, 2, 1, 2 off of the corners, which means it should be like 1, well, yeah, 2 blocks. So 1, 2, like that. And 1, 2, like that. Which gives it the same look. And you see it kind of gives like a flow going around there. And the same thing kind of there, like a nice little ring around the central column. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with that. And, you know, I can always buy more glowstone for my traders. It gives me more XP. And so that's how it looks from underneath. Yes, I could go in and put half slabs across the whole thing, covering up the dirt. I could have built it where I had the dirt higher to like 1 level above. But this way, it shows the dirt. So I know where the trees are. And it also shows, most importantly, the light, which is going to help, again, with once the trees grow in from this level, it will light up the upper part of the branches, up the upper part of the leaves, so I won't have to worry about spawns happening in this area too, you know, just because we'll have all these trees growing. And there we have it, I think. So with these 2 levels, I basically counted just from the edge here in a little bit. I'm doing like 1 block in the middle. You see I've got 2 glowstone on each side, and then across from that is a glowstone, across from there's glowstone, in between is dirt. So that should be sufficient lighting. Anything else should be right here along the edge, where I'm going to probably put just a brick wall. And with that, I can always just slap down a torch on top of the wall if I need to. See, it actually looks pretty decent. Just lit up at night, no trees even placed yet. Has a nice bit of light to it. Should not be any problems with spawns on it. Just planted these and already have 1 tree grown as I'm getting the outer wall placed down. So yeah, this is definitely lit well enough if they're growing already. Since the drop does not injure me, I'm actually not going to worry about walling off the little edge, because I mean, if I drop down, I'm not dropping far, I'm not getting hurt, and that tiny little walk back up is only a minor inconvenience compared to being like, oh, you know what, I just want to jump down to speed things up, and I can't. And there's one problem that is going to happen occasionally. I might just need to build like an outer enclosure that follows up the stairs because of leaves getting stuck. That might actually cause problems with the trees even growing if I have like a set of blocks there, but that might be something that definitely has to happen eventually at some point. But for now, most of the trees are grown, so let's see how it looks at night. So there it is in all its glory. No shader to with the shader. You can see the difference. Obviously, without the shader, you can see it's much brighter. There's not as much contrast in the shadows. But with the shader, it does look a lot better in terms of the way everything looks with the lights on the trees, the shadows on certain parts of the trees. And yeah, there we go. And just a quick look before I have Mr. Creeper here come mess things up. But that's how it looks. Some trees still are not quite growing in, but that's okay. It's just going to be a matter of time. So I forgot that even though they are short trees, the dark oak do really require 2x2 for them to grow. All the others can be planted in single block variations, but the dark oak requires 2x2. I forgot, so I really don't plant them that often. So I guess I need to go get more saplings because I don't have enough. And out here, just getting more saplings. You see how it looks. It's got a really nice look. It kind of looks, with the way the trees are blocking everything, like it has floating rings. And then, of course, if I go in and clear everything, replant, and it hasn't grown, you'll see that towering staircase that goes up. But right now, it looks like it's just a floating set of rings holding a bunch of trees up. You see some of the oak trees, the decorative ones peeking up over the wall there, and a little bit of the ones over by the pond, and of course the big production area. So yeah, it looks pretty good. And there it is. Just gotta let stuff grow, play around with placement a little bit. I built it all around the decorative aspect and not so much on focusing around functional spacing of trees, trying to maximize the amount of space because it's meant to be nice and attractive. Because if I need a lot of a certain type of wood, I'll be able to get it with time. And of course, I can always be like, you know what, let's take out the mixture and just plant all oak on the lower levels. If I need wood for producing charcoal or just generic planks and sticks, stuff like that, just something to process that is not specific to a certain type, I have spruce and jungle trees, super tall, high producing up there at the top. And of course, with the mods I'm using, I have that one that allows me to use the axe on one of the lowest pieces of the trunk, and it harvests the entire trunk all the way up in one go, which means that this is a very simple and easy way to get a lot of wood when I need it. But it also just looks good too. It's very nice, decorative, and gives a nice little, filler to that area of the base. All right, so that's it for this episode of Minecraft Modded. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below if you have any suggestions or you just want to say hi, say you like the idea, like the design. Love to hear from you. And of course, hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I'll see you in the next video.